Okay, hello everybody and welcome to the Gaz Williams Show. Thank you so much for joining me on this rather hot Bristol Wednesday evening. Yeah, we've been having some quite nice weather in the UK. We tend to get our summers a little bit earlier these days. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the weather. We are here to talk about all things music and music technology. So if you're new to this show, then welcome. I'm a... what am I? Bass player, I think, first and foremost. Music tech sort of chap, whatever that means. I call myself a music technologist, which is ambiguous as the name suggests. I like to play around with music technology. I like to review music technology. I often work with Sonic State, and I sometimes work with manufacturers as well and get to, try to exert some influence if I can. I really like product design. I really like exploring new ideas, and I really enjoy how music technology kind of is a constantly evolving thing. I do have quite a lot of expensive music technology thing, but tonight we're going to be looking at quite inexpensive things, and I made a short video at the weekend about these two, and if you were watching the Sonic State podcast earlier, the Sonic Talk, then episode 759, I've been involved with Sonic since somewhere in the hundreds, I think, the first 100, after they'd done 100 or so podcasts. But yeah, I was talking about what we were going to look at today, which is the combination of these two devices. So we have got the roar. Oh, sorry, not the. I've been calling it the roar of ancient times. It's not. It's the rumble of ancient times. Whoops. But the acronym being ROAT. So I typically call it ROAT. So apologies. Need to update some details, I think. Embarrassed. Oh, hello, everyone. Joining in the chat room. Thank you so much. I know a bunch of you were in the Sonic State show earlier. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, I'm really quite excited about this. These two, so this is the Rumble of Ancient Times from Soma, and then this one is the Wingy Mark II from Meng Qi. And Meng Qi is a Chinese inventor music, and I don't know much about Meng Qi at the moment, but I'm most curious now because I think this is an incredible, really lovely little device. But the two of these together, I think is it's just a match made in heaven, and we'll go over that tonight because the Rumble of Ancient Times on its own, it's kind of quite hard beast to tame, really, but it does do all sorts of cool things. And then the Wingy is a resonator, so actually it can force like harmony onto the output of this coming in. So I think it's a combo that's really good. So what we'll do is then, I should also mention, actually, before I go any further, also at the end of this little chain here is a Chaos pad. Now I'm going to leave this in like bypassed initially, but it's going to be on hand to provide sort of delays and various other things. So this runs on 4 AAA batteries, and it lasts for ages. These are the batteries I've had in it since I first got it. I have got some to my side if it does finally run out during the show, but I think they say there's over 100 hours or more of battery life from this very low powered device. Then the Wingy unfortunately doesn't take batteries, but as you can see, I've got my USB power supply here feeding in on a USB-C connection, and then the Chaos pad runs on a pair of AA batteries, which I am showing you there. Also, little thing to remember about these Chaos pads is there's a little micro SD card slot there, and you are able to use it as a master recorder. It's kind of cool then. So we're now a little setup here, I could actually record all my jams with this being at the end of the chain. I think people forget about that. I know I did. But that's kind of a cool little feature. Yeah, so also this, I've got this little shoulder bag. Hang on. This little bag here. And I'm just having a little bit of fun at the moment. I'm putting together a bunch of instruments that can all go just only in that little bag. Trying to get little padded pouches for everything to go in there. It's just a little bit of fun. Whenever I go on tour, I like to take a load of music technology with me, but I want it now just to try and get it all mini, only things that fit into that bag. So other contenders to go in the bag is the Fireball from 1010 Music. Also, I could power that off the same USB brick. And the OPZ from Teenage Engineering, which could be, I mean, that is such a powerful sequencer in there. And if I just use that just as a drum machine, I've not really thought about just using it as just a drum machine. It does so much more than that. It seems an insult to its capability, but just to really focus on that as a little mini drum machine, then I would have in my little array here, you know, bunch of things, and that all tiny and fit in the bag. And you know, this has got a built-in battery as well, so yeah. And then I've got this little, you know, little portable speaker as well, which I can plug the whole shebang into. Anyway, that's what I'm kind of looking at doing, especially over the summer and some long journeys and various things. Right, but we're here to look at these two mainly, so I'll just shove that one out of the way for the moment, and we'll focus on this one first, and then we'll bring in the magic of this one. So yeah, the Rumble of Ancient Times, designed by Kakos Nonos. Right, let's see. So if I bring... first things first. I'm going to power it down and then power it back on again. So when you do that, it goes into its default state. So it doesn't remember however you've left it when you power it off. So it's worth knowing that. But in a way, that's kind of good, because it's always quite good, I find, with this, to start from fresh each time. Now, what is it? Well, it's kind of like a 4-voice synthesizer. I think it's 8-bit, and it has like a matrix of parameters. So these 4 parameter knobs here, depending on, we've got 8 pages, and it uses this kind of like binary, or is it way of changing pages. You get the hang of it. It's a little bit odd at first, but it means you can get to 8 pages from the three controls. So from the first page, right, if I just start bringing it in now, we'll hear it's almost like a sort of mini digital version of the Soma Lyra 8, this one's big brother. Okay, let's see, and we should have some sort of sound coming out. Let's just make sure. Ooh, no sound. Let's just make sure all the ins are out. Plugged in, out, in. Okay. Oh yeah, we're good. All is well. All is well. Come. Okay. So just going to make sure I turn off the effects. I'm using the Gigcaster for doing the sound at the moment. This is the new Boss Gigcaster that I did a stream about recently. So that echo we were hearing was coming from the Gigcaster. Okay. So we've got effects that we can apply to it, but any effects from here on in, though, will come from that. But that will be off for the time being, and then this one is being bypassed. This is the mix control here. So here it's all just pure Roat. Okay, so we got 4 pads and we got 4 switches, 4 kind of latch switches. So I can either trigger a sound by pressing the pad or latch it. And like these pads are just, it doesn't matter how much finger you put on it, it's the same. They don't use a kind of capacitive thing. So you can either latch or play, or you can kind of sequence. So it's just got a very simple 16-step sequence. But as we'll see in a moment, there's quite a lot you can do with that. So with nothing selected here, all of these controls are pitch. Or I could latch them. And then a lot of the lyra kind of play is to do with just constantly moving the pitches around. So I can unlatch them now. You can hear a bit of a click there. So I happen to know if I jump to page 5, then I've got an attack and release that's a global one. Some of the controls are per voice, some are global. Attack and release are global, so that's a bit of... And all the clicks are gone. So starting to, the faster you get to navigate, around this, well, I'm starting to find my way around it. Now, there is a chaos button here, and I'm always tempted to press that straight away, and we'll come back to that though. So yeah, so page 1, or rather page 0, is setting the pitch of them. Page 1 lets us choose the waveforms, and then on the back we can see what the waveforms are, I think, or is that our LFO? Oh yeah, we can see what the LFOs are. So we've got 8 different LFO shapes. We'll get to that in a moment. But so our waveforms, it's like a triangle, saw. Not entirely sure what they all are, but and that can be set independently per voice. Okay, and then we've got 4. Each voice has its own LFO, and so we can turn up the LFO amount on page 3. And the LFO's got 2 destinations. So if we go to LFO type, so it can be from the left to 12 o'clock is affecting the pitch, and then from the right it affects the amplitude. Now, that LFO rate, if we go back to page 2, so each voice has its own independent one. So I'll try and be a bit more conscientious of my arm covering all the information. Yeah, so Now, one of the things that's really odd about the Rumble of Ancient Times, one of its kind of proper peculiarities is on the page 6, is that we've got this summing, there's like different kind of summing engines. So when it's kind of essentially mixing down 4 voices into a single output, it can sum them together with different algorithms. And you can choose which it's a little bit odd. Let's have a go. Well, we'll do it. We'll get a rhythm going first, and then we'll try playing with the different algorithms. So yeah, so I said about rhythm. If you go to page 7, and then if we turn the second knob all the way over, it'll start. We'll get a click, making sure that if the tempo's all the way to the right, I think it will be looking for a clock, because you can synchronize this to a. So we can set a tempo, and that's essentially our click track now. Let's just give ourselves a little bit more attack. Okay, so really simple. Get rid of that click now. So let's just turn it down for a minute. You know, it's like, what? This is horrible. Some of these sounds it makes. What good are they? Well, it starts to kind of get a bit more interesting when you start to mess with these algorithms. And I should also mention that there is a filter available as well. With resonance, you can really hear it's grainy. Okay. Just playing with the decay control, or the release control rather. Bit of delay. I can turn that off for now. Okay. So, I think it's time maybe to bring the Wingy in. So, you know, like the Rumble of Ancient Times, it's such a funny little thing on its own. You make these quirky little things. Oh, sorry, I was going to use the algorithm, wasn't I? Let's just do that first. But yeah, it definitely works when you combine it with other things. Okay. So page 6. I can choose which algorithm. So we got addition with overflow, subtraction, multiplication, so FM wave shape. And here's our diagram of the summing modes. Weird. Okay. I always find it just really a bit odd, I think. Hang on, I'm getting that wrong. What have I done wrong? Let's see. Oh, I know why. On page 7, you've got a sum bypass control. So the click control is also. So let's go there and let's get this going. Okay, let's try that again. So you can set the different algorithms and then choose. Oh, my arm. Sorry. It's really annoying. So I think it's very pot luck as to whether you get anything good out of it. Let's go back to the pitches. Okay, so you can sort of see that it's an odd little quirky noise maker. Let's work with this. Right, okay. I mean, it's horrible, Gaz. What are you talking about? Well, let's have a look now, what we can do here. So I'm going to go completely wet with this now. So if I change the pitch on here, so watch my levels. So now let's start playing some notes in on here. So you can get nice harmonized resonances. Let's go a bit darker. You see where our delay will come in really nice now. Let's see what that filter is doing. Take the release off. Let's make it really. Take the delay back off. So, let's just try and get something nice happening in a moment. Speed it up. I think it's just a really lovely way of just making music in a really unconventional way. So it's kind of quite sweet, isn't it? So there's a left and a right resonator on here. So the right is at the bottom. The top row is the left. And in this first mode, the white mode, there's 4 different modes. Both are set to the same mode at the moment, and it's like a polyphonic mode. It allows 3 note per layer. Look, and we can change the octaves here. We've got 3 octave ranges, with the bottom one going down an octave lower and the top one going up an octave higher. So this is with the most split of them. I'm going to hit the chaos switch on the Roat now. I'll do a thing here. I'll fade now because let's see what's going on with the Roat now, and I'll fade it in, crossfade back to it. So these are just little switches, obviously no velocity in them. And the 3 sliders then, yeah, so we've got a mix. Just that. And a decay time here. Let's go fully wet with it. And then this is just a level control. But for the really keen-eyed viewers, each one has got a CC number, and there is in fact MIDI in on this as well. I haven't played with that yet. Okay, so increasing the decay time now. We should listen to the different modes whilst we're in this. So I'm going to switch the bottom one. Let's get that, doing that low note now. Okay, I'm going to change the mode of that one. The yellow mode. Now, in the yellow mode, it's monophonic, but you can actually, if you play 3 notes, it'll sort of sequence those notes. Let's do this. I'm not quite sure how it knows when to change. So let's change the other layer as well to the yellow. That's the volume. I like how like these funny, quirky melodies can be changed in an instant. I'll just... It's a funny old thing, isn't it? Let's make it really slow. Move all these pitches lower. Ooh, hear that. So just giving it bit of spook, bit of spookiness. Hit the chaos button again, see what it does. Ooh, that's quite dramatic. It's like fascinating to me because it's sort of it's kind of musical but really experimental. Get some really satisfying little tunes out of it. Okay, so we've been in yellow mode on here. Let's switch the bottom one to the next one. Are they labelled here what they are? Yeah. So yellow mode. So white mode is called polyphony mode. Yellow mode is string mode. Red mode is called bar mode. And then the fourth mode, which we haven't looked at yet, is called cave mode. And it tells us like the polyphony mode, 3-note polyphony, the string mode, monophonic, and then the cave mode, not applicable. Then what the keyboard does in the polyphony mode, cycle through voices. Cycle through voices, okay. And then the yellow and the red mode, multiple notes together set the sequence. And if you hold the left mode button down, the note sets the trigger threshold too. And also the octave switching behaves differently on whichever mode you're in. It affects the next note if you're in the white mode Oh, it's instant in these modes, as we'll hear now. It'll instantly change octaves. Should let that be seen, as it's doing some cool things. Let's get this decaying out long now. So I'll use both. I'll let these decay. Both in red mode. So we'll get into cave mode in a moment. I think this combination is just so amazing. I'm always blown away by it, just where it can take you. You can latch these as well if you want them to, instead of being triggered, so it'll go into a drone now. Well, no it won't, because the sequence is running, but... It's really nice, isn't it? Let's give it sequences. Wow. So if I bring the mix back so we hear some Roat again, raw. So you can get some quite nice basses out of this Roat. Let's take the effect off. So bringing the decay down time. Bringing the decay down now. Okay, so I think it's time for cave mode. Right, so I think with cave mode, what the keys do, rather than play notes, I think they mute ring note aspects of it from ringing. So oh, these buttons, that's right. These ones, if you press them, it unmutes them. So, here. So the minus and the plus, mute and unmute, add and sub. I'm not quite sure. And then, like, unmute all. Let's see, what do these do? Can you take them out just by... Yeah, as long as you don't press that one. You've got no way of knowing which ones are muted. And then I suppose I can't quite work out these minus keys, or are they? Or maybe it's just. Haven't quite figured that out. Unmute them all. But you can mix and match these sort of these modes here. You can't quite tell because these all look white on here, but these are currently purple, sort of cave mode. So if I change this one's back to white now, which can do polyphony. I think the sequencer, the basic as it is on here, in combination, it's just giving us that movement. Sorry, chatties, I've not been paying questions. Kaz, did you ever try the Wingy version 1? No, I didn't. Just going to try and catch up with some comments. Sorry, I've been so preoccupied. I've not been watching the comments. I feel it's quite magical. It's changing the pitches on the Roat. Yeah. Oh, there is something else on the Roat which is kind of cool, which is on the page 7, which is you've got the random amount and the random speed. So let's just take the effect away. We'll just go back to raw Roat. It definitely sounds like some hospital machine at the moment, doesn't it? So it sounds lying in hospital. So, yeah, so these two controls, you've got a random amount and a random speed. Let's just get a little bit more sustain going on here. Let's pitch them down a little bit. It's like you really need to get the Wingy back on to make sort of music out of this thing. Just to remind ourselves. Okay, so random. Let's do that. I'll take the Wingy out a moment. Okay, so random amount. Oops, I'm changing the pitch. Wrong thing. I got random amount. So okay, they're doing some crazy stuff. Now let's go back to the resonator. Let's go both polyphonic. Let's make a really nice big. Let's make a. Let's go C minor. Let's get a reverb on here. I've not really encountered anything quite like this. So the way it's all kind of moving and but try changing the tempo now. Oh yeah, so the LFOs, the ones that you've got per voice on here, they're all when you change the rates of the LFOs or the frequency of the LFOs, that's all sort of tempo synced to whatever the clock of this is running at. And the clock can be either its own clock or be synchronized. Watch out for that resonance at times. It'd be nice to narrow the stereo a little bit, because with the resonators being one on the left and one on the right, stereo can be a bit on the extreme side. Press the chaos button again. Wow. And again. And again. I think if I remember rightly, that the chaos button won't change what if you happen, like, so if I'm on the pitch page and I press the chaos button, it won't change the pitches. But if I was on another page, like let's say I was on the LFO frequency page, page 2, and I hit the chaos button, that could scramble everything else other than the LFO frequency. I think that's how it works, might be wrong. It's just like really nice having the kind of pitch control always available. I think maybe, let's have a look. I should use the, if I remember which one it is, the chaos pad with the delay, that's a filter and a delay. I'm just remembering how to find that. Yeah, the low pass filter delay mode. Yeah. Synthetic delay and the granular delay. Let's do that next. Oh yeah, that's a good combo. Good call. Well, actually, sorry, this is one of the LFOs rather than the grain delay, but it's nice, isn't it? God, how joyous is this combo? So price-wise, I think these are around a similar sort of price, around 150, 160 quid. I can't remember how much this is. Maybe, chatties, if I can ask a major favour, could you just check the price, the street price of the Roat for me, please? And actually, the mini KP, I think this one is 160 UK pounds. So I'm not sure how much it is in other areas of the world. Wouldn't mind seeing how much this little trio costs. I mean, it'll add up for sure, but you know, if you get them one at a time. It's just very, very pleasing. It's the Korg Mini KP 2, the 2S, Mini KP 2S. Yeah, I suppose it does all add up, doesn't it? But I'm sure it'll 149 elevator sounds. Thank you, Andrew. So 150, 160, 300, 400. Around about 400, yeah. Oh, it's 158 for a Mini KP2S. God, they've definitely gone up. I'm sure they used to be around 100. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for doing that price check for me. 149, 168. So 300, 460. Okay, so suddenly this little budget thing isn't such budget, is it? Well, it is, but oh well. But I don't know. I find it's just a joyful little combo. Yeah, everything went up 20 to 30%, says John Alchemy. Yeah, most have effects knocking about, but I mean, I think, as I say, for me, it's the fact I can put these in the bag and take them on tour with me or take them traveling, and they really, really do not take up much space. And but I hope you can see why I think that the Roats, this and this, are so well matched. You know, I think without this, it's really hard. It's easy to make crazy sounds on this, but hard to make it sound sweet. But yeah, Tonal Axis is saying that you can record to SD card on this. So let's in fact do that for the sake of it. So I'm going to go into function, I press function a bunch of times. It eventually gets me to my master recorder. Let's just fade that out. And then let's hit record. Probably sign off in a moment. Wasn't going to do too long a stint tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. Coming on a little journey with me. I probably will do some more little streams with this setup. Probably adding in this one and this one. Maybe some others. As I say, all of these all can live in my little tiny shoulder bag quite comfortably, including all the cables and the powers and all the power needed. Yeah, so thanks everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh yeah, Andrew Brooks, thank you so much. He's saying smash the thumbs. Yeah, so anyone, if you're out there, if you found this remotely entertaining, if you could give me a like, that would be really handy. I think. I still don't know quite why. Do you actually want more people to see this? Yeah, of course. Let's go to a C sharp. Thanks so much for your kind words, everybody. Oh yeah, I can't remember. I'm still recording, aren't I? Okay, let's just stop it recording. Just fade it out. Yeah. See if we make that fade nice and smooth. Okay, and stop. I know that the screen had moved on. Stop. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm Gaz Williams. I think you might know that by now. And yeah, hopefully I'm going to try and pick up the frequency of doing these more regularly. So please join me if you can. Generally will be Wednesdays at 8 p.m. British summertime at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Again, thanks a lot. See you, everybody.